In the headlines, families of slain hunters in Uromi protest demand justice. Labour Party caretaker committee probes Julius Abure for alleged corruption and misconduct. Parent teachers blame systemic failures for 2025 UTME mass failure. On the foreign scene, Israeli strikes kill 57 as Gaza blockade deepens hunger crisis. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. My name is Idris Bature. Now, family members of the Kano-born hunters who were reportedly killed at Uromi in Edo State have urged the federal and Edo State government to fulfill their promise of ensuring justice for the deceased. At a 40-day remembrance for the deceased, the families met with the chairman of Bunkuri, Kibia, Garoko and Rano local government in Kano State. They also staged a protest at the Kibia local government secretariat, alleging that government is not handling the matter as earlier promised, as the suspected killers are yet to be paraded.
Deeply saddened by a tragic loss of our community has suffered. The gruesome and senseless killing of 16 innocent hunters from our dear state in April at the Oromi community in Edo State remains a dark moment that has left our people in deep grief and sorrow. These victims were not criminals, they were law-abiding citizens whose only offense was being at the wrong place and at the wrong time. However, the demonstration we witnessed today serves as a powerful reminder of our duty as a government closest to the people, responsibility we were elected to uphold the diligence and compassion. I want to take this opportunity to sincerely commend His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kano State, Alhaji Abba Kabir Yusuf, for his commitment to justice and support for the victim families in both commendable and rising. We call on the community under the leadership of His Excellency and indeed the Governor himself to expedite the pressure to deliver the justice and ensuring the promised compensation reaches the brave families.
Now, Boko Haram terrorists have killed an army captain in Izge community of Gozo local government area of Borno State. The terrorists who struck in the early hours of Wednesday also killed another soldier. Confirming the incident, the Emir of Gozo, Muhammad Shehu Timta, said the assailants stormed the area around 1 a.m. and engaged troops. He prayed for the souls of those that lost their lives and commended the gallant soldiers for coordinating other security operatives to repel the attack. He also thanked the Borno State Governor, Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, for the logistic support to the security operatives, while calling on the federal government to equip security operatives with technological warfare. Meanwhile, Borno State Governor Babagana Umar Zulum on Tuesday at Government House Chambers inaugurated a reconstituted committee on revocation of illegal hotels, brothels, shanties, and criminal hideouts as part of efforts to curb the menace of antisocial vices. Zulum imposed a ban on the sale of alcoholic beverages in the state. He accused the military and other security agencies of promoting criminality and antisocial activities in Maiduguri and some communities. He charged the committee to purge the state of all forms of criminality, thuggery, prostitution, and drug abuse, among others, in the state.
This committee is in existence before. So we are now reconstituting the committee for greater efficiency and productivity. The committee has done very, very well before. But over a period of time, we became relaxed. And everything started again. I'm happy to note that army officers are here, especially the military police and others are here. Because most of these activities were committed by who? Some of them are dismissed army officers, dismissed security officials, current army officers, men and officers, including civilians. So there should be no sacred cow in this matter. If we want Maiduguri Metropolitan Council and indeed the state to get rid of insurgency, terrorism, and all other sort of criminalities.
Your Excellency, it is with great humility and a deep sense of responsibility that I humbly on myself, on my behalf, and all the committee members that we would like to express on behalf of all of us our sincere gratitude for finding us worthy to confer on us this mandate to discharge this responsibility. Our collective resolve is to restore order, safety, and dignity within our community by addressing issues that threaten the peace and well-being of the community and the citizens at large. This community has been charged with a critical and urgent mission: the demolition of illegal hotels, brothels, shanties, criminal hideouts, and the curbing of antisocial vices. This community clearly communicates that this government has zero tolerance to any sort of antisocial vices.
Now, traditional rulers have been urged to intensify their support for government efforts in combating banditry and other security challenges across the country. Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal made this appeal during a one-day symposium on the role of traditional rulers in community development organized by Kauranamo the Emirate Council. The report.
The event highlighted the vital role traditional rulers played in promoting peace, security, health, and education within their communities, especially at a time when Nigeria is grappling with issues such as banditry, terrorism, kidnapping, and farmer-herder conflicts. Participants emphasized the importance of traditional leaders mobilizing their communities to provide accurate and timely intelligence to security agencies as part of effort to eliminate violent armed groups threatening the peace and safety of innocent citizens. The symposium convened by the Kauranamo the Emirate Council brought together traditional rulers, government officials, academics, and youth groups to deliberate how traditional institutions can contribute more effectively to resolving security issues and fostering community development.
On behalf of Kauranamo, the local government council, I congratulate him and pray to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for good health, long life, and prosperity. With this development, I want to assure His Royal Highness, the Emir of Kauranamo and the Emirate Council, our total support and cooperation for the unity and the progress of our people of Kauranamo and Zamfara State at large.
Governor Dauda Lawal, represented by Head of Service Yakubu Haidara, called on traditional rulers to actively support his administration's initiatives aimed at restoring peace and security in Zamfara State.
Since you assumed the office as the Emir of Kauranamo, the 17th Emir of Kauranamo, you have continued to record successes and successes all this while. I thank you very much for your innovations and laudable development programs that are geared towards uniting your people and the people of the state in general. I congratulate you on this occasion.
Professor Makau of Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto, alongside a retired DSS Director Mama Manir, emphasized that meaningful engagement and recognition of traditional rulers can play a critical role in addressing the nation's security challenges.
Some of the leadership entails that leader should have, for example, a leader should be trustworthy, a leader should be honest, a leader should love his people.
The role of traditional rulers in managing security situation is a very important role because they are fathers to the community. They are community leaders who know in and out of every community. They have representation all over their domains. So whatever happens, if you want to know, liaise with them, cooperate with them, you will certainly get the information you are in need of. And the major challenge is using actionable intelligence for you to launch an intelligence-driven operation so that you can root out the challenges or the criminals or wherever they are.
Speakers at the event agreed that with the right leadership, community collaboration, and support for traditional institutions, Nigeria can overcome its security and development challenges.
Now, the caretaker committee of the Labour Party, led by Senator Nenadi Usman, says it is investigating Julius Abure over allegations of misconduct, including corruption, misappropriation of party funds, and anti-party activities. At a press briefing in Abuja on Wednesday, Senator Usman accused Abure of persistently parading himself as the national chairman of the party despite being removed, and running the Labour Party as a personal enterprise to pursue selfish ambitions. She stated that rather than fostering unity, Abure allegedly exploited his position for personal enrichment. To address these allegations, the caretaker committee has set up a disciplinary panel chaired by Senator Ireti Kingibe, with Peter Ame serving as secretary.
After a careful and comprehensive review of the Supreme Court judgment delivered on Friday, April 4th, 2025, the National Executive Council, NEC, is deeply concerned by the subsequent actions of Barrister Julius Abure, particularly his continued impersonation of the esteemed office of the National Chairman of the Labour Party. These actions have not only violated the spirit and letter of the law, but have also brought the image and integrity of our great party into disrepute. In the exercise of its constitutional mandate and in strict accordance with the disciplinary provisions of the Labour Party Constitution 2019 as amended, the NEC in session hereby announces the commencement of disciplinary actions against Mr. Abure. These actions have started with the constitution of a special investigative committee to review the actions of Mr. Abure as it affects the image and integrity of the party. In line with due process and the party constitution, NEC gives Mr. Abure 48 hours notice to show why disciplinary actions should not be taken against him for his numerous acts of gross misconduct against the party. The formal notice of disciplinary action will be sent to the last known address of Mr. Julius Abure.
He should take it that, yes, since they said that, no, I'm no more qualified to be there because the two lower courts had been quashed. Therefore, the thing that should be there, because the environment cannot be left in the vacuum. So, the names that should feature in the right senses should be the NCC, which came up through the effort and strength and consultation of the entire NEC. Because in simple mathematics, if you check the NEC today, what constitutes the NEC? This particular answer I'm giving will address some of the issues that some other people raised. In the NEC, you have the NCC, you have the TUC, you have the governor and the deputy. Then eventually the National Working Committee, the chairman, can feature so that he'll be feeding back their National Working Committee with the necessary information at the end of the day, because the NEC is one of the organs that is very strong after the National Convention.
Now, following the defection of the Edo State House of Assembly Speaker Blessing Agbebaku and other People's Democratic Party members to the All Progressives Congress on Tuesday, the member representing Oredo East constituency, Frank Omosigo, has reaffirmed his loyalty to PDP. In a statement released in Benin on Wednesday, Omosigo said he remained an unwavering member of the PDP. He said despite speculations linking him to and others to defection, it became important to clarify that he was absent from the venue where the speakers and others pledged allegiance to the APC. After the Tuesday defection, the PDP in Odo State has lost the majority of seats, with only 6 members still remaining out of 14 that won the election on the platform in 2023. At least 18 communities in Minna, Niger State are currently facing a total power blackout due to an ongoing road construction in the area. A statement by the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company AEDC on Wednesday said the road construction is ongoing along the Pakungu roundabout in Minna. As a result, communities around the Minna Sharia Court, Police Secondary School, Bosso Low Cost, Bosso Estate, Tudun Fulani, Rafinyashi, Mina Airport, Air Force Base, Mekunkeli, River Basin, Soji, Pakungu, and parts of the Mina Bida Road are affected by the blackout. Other affected areas include Limawa, Darussalam, Barkin Sali, JFLA, Kels, Beji, and all its environs. The DISCO apologized for the inconvenience while pleading for patience and understanding during the period for which the construction would last. The utility firm, however, did not state when the road construction will be completed or when electricity will be restored to the affected communities. Now, the House Committee on Aviation Technology says inadequate wages and poor budgetary allocations are hampering the effective training and retention of pilots and other aviation professionals, posing serious risk to air transport safety. The committee stated this during an oversight visit to the Nigerian College of Aviation Technology in Zaria. The reports.
Aviation safety remains a national priority, but persistent underfunding continues to hinder the growth and effectiveness of aviation training institutions in Nigeria. Addressing these challenges, stakeholders say, will not only enhance the quality of pilots and aviation professionals, but also improve overall air transport safety across the country.
All we are seeing is that this college need to be given more attention. This is possibly the best that you could get. With that, nobody will want that kind of an edifice to go down. And so,
while safety is the aviation industry's top concern, achieving it requires greater government intervention and funding support.
I'm sure they are now convinced the college requires a lot of financial support from their own end. Everything you do it based on international regulations. Even if you want to operate this machine, they tell you have to have a certain license. And without the license, nobody can allow you to work in that place.
Dr. Ismail highlighted the pressing need for infrastructure upgrades, especially the repair of the college's runway to ensure safe aircraft operations. Meanwhile, the National Assembly has pledged its support for the rehabilitation of the NCAT runway as part of broader efforts to improve aviation safety and boost local capacity in pilot training. Bella Musa, Trust TV News Kaduna.
This is the news update on Trust TV. Coming up after the break. Parents, teachers blame systemic failures for 2025 UTME mass failure. More news when we return. Do stay with us. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is the news update on Trust TV. Let's take a look at our top stories again. Labour Party Caretaker Committee probes Julius Aburi for alleged corruption misconduct. And families of slain hunters in Uromi protest demand justice. Now moving on to more stories. Candidates who sat for the recently concluded 2025-2026 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination UTME and their parents have expressed disappointment with the abysmal performance in the exam. While some parents said students shared in the blame, they accused the system of also contributed to the candidate's failure this year. Ado Musa has the rest of the story.
More than 1.9 million candidates sat for this year's Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, out of which 50% of the candidates scored below 200 points. According to JAM analysis, only 4,756 candidates scored 320 and above, while 12,414 candidates scored 300 and above. Some candidates who sat for the exam share their thoughts on the outcome.
I think because of this mass failure, the exam, maybe lack of preparedness for the exam, and maybe lack of reading culture for other candidates. But as for me, I found the exam interesting, but I've not seen my results, so I can't say if I did well or not.
To be sincere, that's quite unfortunate for us, because I'm not happy at all to hear that. Yeah, that's quite unfortunate, I think.
I see the statistics saying that almost 75% of the candidates score below 160. So, you see, I'm just praying for the best result. Yeah.
Parents, teachers, and other stakeholders expressed divergent views on what could have contributed to the failure of the candidates.
I don't know. It's like JAM is not fully adequately prepared. I will give you an example. My daughter was supposed to sit for the mock exam at the center here in Jos. Unfortunately, all the students that were supposed to sit for that exam that day couldn't write that exam because of network problem.
I noticed that parents are in haste to send their children to school, instead of allowing the child to grow with the knowledge. Some parents who want to fast track their children's education. Like a practical experience that there were children I noticed that by mere looking, they are not up to the age, up to 16 years. But of course, by the paper we have on the database, it shows the child is 16 years.
Schools all over Nigeria are not well equipped in terms of infrastructure, teaching staff, and even the curriculum to cover in preparing students for this very JAM. And the real problem is because of our urbanization structure. Majority of Nigerians are in villages, and there's no light, no good teachers, no good schools, and even many qualified teachers are not there. And yet they're expected to take the JAM. So that would be making the whole thing to end in anticlimax.
They also propose ways to address future challenges in the examination process.
Since the conduct of the exam is a yearly event, one would have expected JAM at least 2 months, 3 months before the exam to put in place adequate measures so that there will be a hitch-free exams exercise.
The most critical thing is all the agencies of education should go back to the what is called the basics and tell ourselves the truth. Are we really ready for this exam for our children? And what type of people are we producing? Who will man the economy, especially public and private sector? Under these conditions, if we can't do it, then we have to restructure both the examination, let it even be written.
The outcome of the examination is a reflection of the state of education in Nigeria, which needs urgent attention. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
And now away from Nigeria, Israel's attacks on Gaza have killed at least 57 people since dawn, targeting civilians in crowded places as its more than 2-month blockade of the besieged and bombarded enclave has caused acute food shortages, accelerating the starvation of the Palestinian population. A reconnaissance drone strike targeted an area near the Thai and Palimura restaurants in Al-Wahida Street in Gaza City. 2 missiles were fired at 2 locations at the same time, 100 meters apart, one inside a restaurant and another at the intersection PPL. At least 17 people. More relentless Israeli strikes were scattered across Gaza on Wednesday, with 13 people killed and several more injured in a strike targeting Al-Karama school in the Tufa neighborhood in Gaza City. Also in the north, another 3 people were killed and several wounded in a strike on a house in Jabalia. Another 8 people, including a father, his children, and cousins, were killed in Khan Yunis city in the south, including 5 in a strike on one home. And in sports, Turkish Super League side Trabzonspor has made a significant move ahead of the 2025-2026 season, submitting a £10 million offer for Nigerian international and FC Mantis winger Moses Simon. With Simon set to enter the final year of his contract this summer, Nantes appears open to selling the winger to avoid losing him for free. French Ligue 1 clubs OGC Nice and Olympique Marseille had previously shown interest in Simon during the winter transfer window, and are expected to review their pursuit. Simon, who has earned 77 caps for Nigeria, has enjoyed a solid season with Nantes, scoring 7 goals in 31 appearances. And with that, we have come to the end of the news update on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms and also watch us on YouTube live for more news, programs, and documentaries. My name is Idris Layabatura, thanking you for being with us. Goodbye for now.